โดยที่ท่านประธานบริหารคุณเซี่ยซันเย็นจะมาพูดถึง Business Outlook แล้วก็ผลงานที่โดดเด่นในไตรมาสนี้หลังจากนั้นคุณหยูโปเวิร์น CFO จะมาให้รายละเอียดในเรื่องของผลประกอบการและในช่วงสุดท้ายนะคะเป็นช่วงคำถามคำตอบก็จะพบกับนักลงทุนสัมพันธ์ของเราคุณกุลวดีกวยาวงศ์ค่ะ May I invite Mr. Dick
Good morning, my dear friend. I'm sorry today only few people to join our this press release. By the way, I still very appreciate for your coming because I think probably you guys know the data already. So we are still quite positive. The good information is for you. We still very positive, whatever, from rest of the first half of the year, also the second half of the year, or even next year. So let me introduce a little bit. Well, from our European, the market outlook from our European of the DES teams on the second quarter of the year. Result on the server networking power, telecoms, very promising. Business is meeting our forecast, so very good. Our Indian performance also very good in the Q2. Compare with the even we have excellent performance in the Q1. Q2 performance is very good. And for C, I think you guys know Mr. Moody is the new president, and he hosts a lot of big events. There was a lot of activity we're doing in the Indian, so we think the opportunity for us in India is very positive. Industrial automation business also continually see positive growth in the Southeast Asia region. We have a meeting with our distributors in Thailand, sorry, in South East Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, also Australia, and we have a very good meeting together with them. I think coming probably we all focus on 10 years business plan, and I think it's very good. The only things, I don't want to say everything's good, but we still have some weakness. The weakness is come from here. When we have strong dollars, normally you can see we have a good EPS, right? So weak Thai baht from 33 to 35. Today, I think today is, yesterday 34.8 or something. Maybe for C will be 35 or something. For us, of course, good. But in another hand, the strong dollars make everybody weak. The currency make everybody have more competition in the market. The Japanese yen from 80 something depreciate to the 125. Europe from 1.3 something dropped to 1.09. That's meaning the European or Japanese, the cost is more competitive, right? So actually we face a lot of price pressure in the market competition. This is also, we try to do a lot of effort, whatever from the cost-wise, from the manufacture, from the management wise, and also very important is we provide very, very good solution to customer, to make up or value to customer. So even the price is keeping there, or price is sometimes a little bit then higher than others, we still get a better performance, better price performance, better solution performance, and better quality performance to a customer. So although this is a weakness, but we try improve in the other area to make our cost is better, more competitive to the market. In the operation wise, overall production capacity remain healthy. It's around 90% up achievement in the Q2, so quite good. All the bad things is DC-DC products in the downtrend because some of the people using design bolt to their main system, but we're trying to figure out another solution to getting back to the market. So this is still in the confidential stage. I mean, I'm talking about technology and everything. So we're going to try to find out this market after 3 years. Foresee, maybe it will be grows much more than existing DC-DC. Automatic, it's products, it's ramping up significantly because of people high costs, everything. So we try to do a lot of automation, do a lot of robotic for the future, and we implement by end of the year we're going to implement the robot in our production line, all around 60-some robots. And coming next year's, our plan is much higher than these numbers to replace a lot of labor. Everybody knows Thailand labor in the future will getting higher and higher. How to cost down, how to make everything smooth, how to make the machine running smooth without any people emotion or reduce efficiency, something like that. So replaced by the human, that is our major concern. So we're going to try to using automatic robot to reduce our cost. And Thailand, last quarter we received a award from Japanese very famous company Hitachi to get on storage products award. They are very appreciate Delta to give them over 10 years support. So this is their award for Delta. And also we receive ESG, Energy Saving Governance 100 in Thailand, which is showing our performance top 100 in Thailand. This is talking about energy saving. We get a lot of conversation together with Dr. Pipet. And we're doing a lot of cooperation together with, you see the left side, it's our VP Kun Anusong, and on right side, it's Vichai for manufacturing side. So we do a lot of communication, do a lot of information exchange. They are actually very appreciated. We do a lot of energy saving products like ISO 50001, and we hope we also support the other company do a lot of energy saving, which is always doing something like 30 to some of that 80% energy saving, which is a performance is very good. So this is I think this is second quarter's performance. Just let everybody come over here to join to let you have those kind of information. So I will keep Mr. Bo to have your report to your financial highlights. Thank you.
Good morning to every gentleman. Yeah. So here I would like to have a quick update our financial status. We can see in the Q2, the revenue we achieved 11.5 billion. And compared with the same period last year, we grew about 5%. And just now, the Dick has explained about our networking and data center power price remain stable, and also we have a very good performance in the India for the TPS. And if we look at the first half years for the 5 years comparison, we can see it's in a higher side. Okay. For the gross profit, we achieved 3.1 billion Thai baht at 27.2% of the revenue, and compared to last year, same period is a growth by 7%. And this has been beneficial from the Thai baht depreciate, but Dick also has a plan. Also, we have a pressure on our components cost. Yeah. But anyway, from operation side, we still work very hard to try to keep the high gross profit. Yep. And look at the first half, we total achieved 6.2 billion Thai baht at 27.4% of the revenue. And if compared with the same period for the past 5 years, and we can see it's quite stable growth. Yeah. Operating profit, we achieved 1.6 billion Thai baht in the Q2 at 14% of the revenue, and compared to last year, the same period grew by 18%. And this we also got some benefit from the euro against dollar depreciation. Yeah. We can see the exchange rate in the Q2 last year compared with the Q2 this year, euro depreciate around 18%. And due to our SG&A cost, we have around 70% is happen in European country. So the weakened euro also benefit to our SG&A expense. Yeah. And look at the first half, we total achieved 3.1 billion Thai baht. Compared to last year, we grew by 19%. And if we look at the same period for the past 5 years, also show very healthy growth. Yeah. The net profit after the tax, we achieved 1.7 billion Thai baht. Compared to last year same period, growth by 15%. Apart from we have a strong operating profit, we also have a very strong cash flow. So here we have interest income, and also with the foreign exchange gain in the Q2. And for the first half, we achieved 3.3 billion Thai baht at 14.5% of revenue. Compared with the same period for the past 5 years, also show the very good growth. And here is also for the financial related income, we add up together is more than 200 million Thai baht. For the balance sheet, we look at the end of last year compared with the end of June. There's not much deviation, but we can see the cash we from 17.9 billion down to 16.6 billion. This is a major gap is because we have paid up the cash dividend in April. Yep. But about 3.7 billion, but it's very healthy. One is we create also about 3.9 billion from the operation income. Yep. And for the financial ratio, we can see, look at the gross profit, operating profit, and net profit is meet the high side. Okay, and ROE 24.4%. The debt over equity ratio 0.47 compares to last year a little behind. This is because we have just paid out the cash dividend. Yep. I think by the if after the second half we will come down to 0.4 this kind of level, and the quick ratio is still maintained very healthy 2.41 times. Okay, so here's my financial update. Thank you.
Thank you คุณติ๊ก and คุณโบนะคะ I just would like to actually explain a little bit more before we go to the QA about the growth and also the profits that is actually the aim of the management. First of all, for the revenue, in these few years we are expecting to see some boost coming from the automotive business that we just launched back then in the year 2010. Certain things has been launched in the year 2010, but only it takes a few years before we can actually commercialize. That's why in these few years we will be able to grow much more because of a few things. First is the automotive. Second is because of the regional business. So for this reason, that's why we expect to see the good growth in the revenue. And because we look at the US dollars and not so much in the Thai baht, that's why we don't gauge the Thai baht. But in any cases, those losses that come from the new businesses were supposed to be subsided in the near future because we have more of the sales revenue generating from those investments that we already made. Even though there should be some more investment to make in the near future, especially for the R&D, but since we can actually make use of the new businesses that we launched since the year 2010. So the percentage of the loss-making new businesses versus the new business that already make some sales will actually, the proportion will be more helpful and beneficial to us. And also I would like to take this opportunity to invite the brokers to come and take a look at our new data center. Because our new data center is actually going to be a showcase, it is not only for the use internally. That is because we would like to boost the data center solution business in the regional business that we have, using Thailand as the showcase first. So any brokers or any companies who are interested to see how we do the data center at our office using Delta products and also using our expertise to improve the efficiency and also help with the environment, then we are very pleased to invite you and also welcome you at our office. So if there's anything, then please let us know. Otherwise, anything else will be, just like what Kun Bo and Kun Dik just mentioned. The last and not the least is that I would like to give the credit to the management for the cost control of those new businesses. Because of that, that's why we see some improvement in the profitability, and not just only because of the increase of the sales. Actually, if you look back 3 years, our sales growth was not too high, especially when you look at the dollar term. But we managed to improve the profit margin quite a bit in each year, or else it will be each quarter. Because the control of the loss making of those new businesses, that the management pays so much attention to it. And also I would like to give the credit to people, the CFO, for trying to make the capital structure in such a way that it will be best benefits for us. But because of the nature of our company is electronics, which is very high risk, therefore we cannot add the financial risk into our profile. For that reason, you will never see us have very big debt, or especially the interest-bearing debt. So the debt that we see now is only from the working capital that you can see here. Otherwise, then we will not be able to support our new businesses. And for the same reason, that's why we have to have that $300 million cash on hand policy that we set forth since the year 2008. It's just to make sure that we have enough money to support the new businesses that will continue to grow in the future, both existing and the new businesses that will come in the future as well. So I think that is all that I would like to wrap up our performance for the past few years and also for this quarter. Anything that I could entertain from the floor, please? I'm sorry for speaking all in English.
Can I add
please.
some one thing? I'm very appreciative Khun Ardi to introduce data center. I didn't do that. But let me tell you, the data center we set up in our bamboo factory are at this moment are best in Asia. Let me repeat one again. Again, best performance in the Asia. Although this is not the biggest, it's a very small one. It's only something around 90 square meter. But all the facility inside and the energy saving are best in the Asia. ASEAN. So I hope you guys have an opportunity to introduce to your friends, your big boss, so everybody come over here, or schools or government, anybody, just grouping all together. We can do the presentation to you to introduce what is the data center performance, why we need such good a data center for this ASEAN market. Why we set up that in Thailand? Okay, so data center requirements in the market is significant, high in the future. You see from our mobile before, we just make a phone call. Now we can have a line, and then we can have internet shopping, and then we have IoT, Internet of the Things, and we have a lot of data. We have email, and we have news, everything come from here. Where's the data come from? Everything goes through the data center. Everything goes through the data center, go to the cloud. So please come over to Bangbu to see the best data center in ASEAN. All right, thank you.
And for that reason, that's why, we would like to arrange for the data center presentation tour in the factory very soon. So we can entertain not just only the analysts, but also your IT or even your customers or any companies that listen to the presentation right now, because we would like to see this globe to be more friendly to the environment. It is not only about the cost savings, but it is more about the global warming and environmental friendly. So basically, I think that outside of that, then people would be more scared about the security matter right now. That probably would be the next step that we would introduce to you. So that's why in this manner, I also would like to I would like to arrange a plant tour for all of us very soon, exclusively for the data center introduction. Anything else that I would be able to entertain from the floor regarding the questions from the operation?
Actually, I have a question about the outlook, if you don't mind, in terms of data center. Are there any target market that we're looking for the data center specifically? Actually, let me rephrase that. Are we going to be looking to participate in the upcoming governmental data center scheme that they are looking to do in the near future?
I think that at the moment the strategy is to go for the smaller ones first, because if we would like to deal with the government, that actually would be on the other scale. But because we would like to introduce this data center for the small scale so that it will become a business model that we can use for other offices in the regional business as well. So yes, we would like to see the government project as well, but we may not have the target to go for that for now, because we would like to go for the data center for the individual companies first, since that would be more of the right target, not only for Thailand, but also for other offices around the globe as well.
Put one more things to inform you. Why we go small data center? The big data center, like today's AIS, TOT, or True, they build a big data center. But these data centers, normally PUE, is something around 1.9. We are building the data center, the standard is 1.4. That's meaning the power consumption, they are probably around 40% higher than ours. So it's not good for energy saving. It's not good for the power usage. But this is the difference, because they are building a 6,000 square meter a data center. It's very hard to control the power consumption. Okay, but we can do the small one. But you know, the small one, it's a very, very good for, say, like a university, like a hospital, like small financial companies, like government, even the government, some of the divisions, like the company our size, it's about 50 billion companies, like that. People do like have some private owned data center, confidential, efficiency, and even say the top CG40 companies, they are very, very care about the corporate governance. Then they will consider this kind of the facility. Okay, this kind of facility also will be very impressive for the country like Singapore, Australia, a little bit developing countries. So they were using this kind of concept. And even we are going to introduce more like a container-based data center. So there was a lot of combination in our product line. So by and by, we're going to introduce to the market.
Because the business model for the regional business per se, when we look into the future, it will be more individualized than just, to collect all together. That will be for the ODM business that we have, like when we sell to Cisco or IBM or Facebook or such. But right now, with our regional business focus in individual companies, that's why we would like to introduce a lot of products. And also on top of everything, when we look into the future, just like the drought that we are facing right now, if we rely everything on the government, it will be too heavy for one to do. But if everyone lends a hand, then the country will become much faster to move ahead. And that is the reason why the developed countries, they focus on individual improvements. If there is no other questions from the floor, I just would like to thank Khun Dick Chair and also Mr. Boyu, our CFO, so much for coming today. And I also would like to thank all analysts and the audience to come as well. Thank you so much, and see you next quarter. Goodbye.
ห้ามใจฉีดตอนนี้มัน